Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about brows. You know how to get them lined up, girl. First, I'm going to start off by saying it's not as hard as it can seem. I know it seems like a long process. Everyone's like, I don't got time for that. I'm not doing that. Starting off, it can be a little tough. I'm not going to lie. I have had some mishaps, but it comes with time. If you're willing to just give a little bit of effort in the beginning, it's a really process towards the end. You only need 4 things, and that's a pair of tweezers, a pair of scissors. You do sometimes require a razor. This one's optional. If you like plucking your life away, that's fine. This is the way to go for me. Lastly, your pencil. Your pencil is so important when you're doing your brows. I used to use a little cheap one from Family Dollar or the Dollar Tree. And it used to actually be for eyeliner / eyebrow pencil.
No.
And I think, oh yeah, it says brows. I use it for my brows. These brows used to be so dark and let's not make mistakes like that. You want something that's like stiff. You don't want it to be something that's smudgy, thick, smooth consistency. You want it to be like a pencil, really. You don't want something where you're making thin light movements and you're getting really thick, bold lines out of it. So for me, my favorite pencil is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and I use it in dark brown. Just because you have black hair, that does not mean you should have black brows, unless that's the look you're going for. If you're the type of girl that you got that bold look down pat, do you, boo-boo. But if you're trying to do something natural, you don't need a black pencil. I used to use black. Looking back on those pictures, I kind of cringe. Dark brown is the way to go. Pencil is about $20, $21 around there. It comes with the spoolie on the end, and then the pencil looks like this, just retractable. If you want to see how to get your brows like mine, just check it out. So you want to start with a clean brow. That's like number 1. Right now, as you can see, there is nothing clean about these brows. There's a lot of small hairs in there. We're gonna pick up our tweezers and we're just gonna pluck those hairs away. Sometimes even after you pluck, there's still a few hairs that are showing. Take this razor and just go over everything. So I'm just gently taking it. You don't want to be too rough because you don't want to accidentally cut some of your brow off. And
That's happened before to me.
sometimes you just, you're in a rush. You think you know what you're doing, and they just come off. So you can see that this brow here is kind of jagged, unevenness between the 2 brows. Like, I think this one sits a little higher than this one, so I always have to line them up. There's definitely some troubles. My brow hairs are long. Like, you don't want your brows to be too long. It's hard to draw the pencil over them. So we're gonna pick up our scissors. I'm gonna take the scissors, and what I'm gonna do is be brushing up and then clipping. So brush up and clip the excess. So when I say excess, I mean this line, like where my actual brow is seeming to form. I'm going to clip where that begins. So it's starting about right here, and these hairs are obviously over that. So I'm just gonna clip and clip.
And clip. And clip.
Be careful though, you don't want to over clip. Brush up and then clip up and clip. So now you're seeing that they are already starting to look a little more manageable. What I'm gonna do now is take my brow wiz. This is like the most awesome part of everything. I'm going to draw a line underneath. This is gonna be a really light line. It's just gonna be kind of like a path of where I'm going. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna keep the line really close to my brows. Like I'm not overdrawing at all. I'm just following the natural arch. Now it's just creating a nice even line underneath, and it's not too dark. Like it's just a light line to show where we're going. What we're gonna do after that is begin to flick our pencil up very, very lightly just to start filling in right above that line. So that's the motion we're making. It's just flick. And you see, I'm not gonna start right in the front. I'm starting like a quarter way in. So from right here, this is where I'm starting, and then I'm gonna fill from here, and we're gonna come back to the front because the front is the crucial part of the brow where people get it wrong sometimes. So light flex going up. So right down here, it starts coming down a bit, so I'm gonna start drawing down. I'm coming back to the front. And right here, we're going to go super light, like literally like barely touching it. Because we're just creating like a shadow. And then we're gonna do the same up here. So same motion up here. I'm gonna create, this is gonna be a line, a really thin line just to make it even. And then right here, I'll just go up a little further. I continue straight because I want my arch just like, I really want the arch to be defined. So I'm gonna come straight and then down. So we're going up some more. So you see, I've gone beyond where my natural arch is just a little bit. And then I'm gonna come down. And going above like that just defines the arch a little more. And then I'm gonna bring my tail down. You usually want your tail to be like from the end of your nose to the eye, so about right there. And as you can see, I've brought my tail right to that spot. You don't wanna bring them down too far. This is pretty much it. I do want to define the front a bit. I'm going to brush out with the spoolie. Be careful, we don't want to take away too much, especially where I filled this in right here. I don't want to take that out. You want to have a good concealer. I like the LA Pro Girl. You can usually get that at any beauty supply store. My most favorite one is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And I'm the shade NC42. That is not my shade for my face. That is for under eye and for my brows. When you're doing the concealer for your brows, you do want that to be like one shade lighter because you want some brightness under there. You got to think, if you get your eyebrows arched, when you get them waxed, it is always a little bit lighter. It's like a natural highlight. Now I'm gonna go over to this brow, and remember, this is the one that's a little more jagged. So when I'm creating this line, it's really, really important to, you know, you're not following the path exactly. You're gonna take this brow where you want it to go. You're in charge, okay? So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go I am going to overdraw this one a bit. So you see where the line is and where my actual brow is. And then I'm going to bring down the tail. We got some work to do on this one. All that, we have to fill that in. We got to make sure it looks natural. And then I also told you that this brow comes up a little bit higher than this one sometimes. So I also have to bring it down a bit and line it up. So this is the complete line. It's not a dark line. The camera does make it look a little dark. It's not a dark line. And then we're just gonna start creating these little flicks. We're gonna flick it. And following the natural brow. So if it goes up here, we're flicking up. When it starts coming like diagonal, we're gonna flick this way. So it's up and then over and then down. And now I'm gonna come to the front and we're gonna be just as careful as we were with the other brow. And then I'm gonna create my line at the top. And it's the same thing on this side. I'm going to keep that line just a little bit straight so that I can exaggerate the arch. So I'm gonna take it out a little bit more than where my natural brow is. And then I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna take the spoolie end and brush this out. If there is if you can see that line at the top, you wanna brush that out. You wanna keep this looking as natural as possible. If you feel like you went too dark anywhere, you wanna brush that out. So I'm gonna use, this is a like a flat headed brush right there. Some concealer just on the back of my hand, just a little bit, just a drop, because that's all you need. I'm gonna lightly put the brush into that. I don't like starting with a lot. So what I do is take and I brush off a lot of it because you just need a little bit. And I don't like to start in the front. It's same. I like starting like a quarter way in and then bringing it to the front. This is really when you can control the tail. You can make it as thin or you can keep it a little thicker. Like this is really where you can clean up this brow. I'm dragging it down because this helps when I'm blending out the brow. And again, that's why cleaning up the brow is so important, because when you're going over this with concealer, if you have hairs, it just don't look good. So I'm taking it and I'm moving it down. And again, this helps me blend out the concealer. I'm just gonna take my finger for this. That's pretty much it right there for me. Then repeat the process, dipping in the brush just a bit and then taking off any excess product. I'm starting about a quarter way in. And then I'm gonna take what's left and just really lightly flick it in. Flick it. I keep saying flick. Flick. And then dragging it down. And just brush off any excess product. And that's pretty much it for me. I don't put product at the top. For me, it just looks a lot less natural. You have foundation up here, and the way I prefer my makeup is very natural. I don't want to look like this plastic Barbie person. I like when some imperfections come through. I don't see the point of going above, but this is the finished look. So that's pretty much it for the brows, and this is the finished look after I've added the contour, blush, and highlight. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below and I'll be sure to try to answer that for you guys. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do your brows. It's just do you, boo-boo. This is the way I do me. Yes.